From the scorching deserts of Egypt to the misty mountains of Peru, the sun has been a source of fascination and awe for countless generations. Across cultures and time periods, people have found different ways to symbolize and worship this powerful celestial body. In this video, we'll explore some of the most fascinating examples of sun symbolism in different cultures. The cult of the sun refers to the religious beliefs, practices, and rituals that are centered around the worship of the sun as a divine or sacred entity. In many cultures, the sun was viewed as a powerful and benevolent force that brought light, warmth, and life-giving energy to the world. It was often personified as a deity or god, with different cultures giving the sun different names and attributes. Ancient Egypt. The ancient Egyptians believed that the sun god Ra was the source of all life and the creator of the world. They saw the sun as a powerful and divine force that gave light and warmth to the earth and sustained all living things. The rising and setting of the sun were seen as a daily cycle of death and rebirth, symbolizing the eternal cycle of life and death. Ra was often depicted as a falcon-headed man with a sun disk on his head and wearing the double crown of Upper and Lower Egypt, symbolizing his authority over the entire country. The pharaohs were seen as the earthly representatives of Ra and were believed to receive their power and legitimacy from him. In Egyptian mythology, Ra was said to travel across the sky in a boat called the Bark of Millions of Years, which was thought to be both a solar barge and a funerary barge that would carry the pharaoh's soul to the afterlife. At night, Ra would journey through the underworld, where he would do battle with the serpent god Apophis to ensure that the sun could rise again in the morning. Ra was worshipped in many different temples throughout ancient Egypt. The Temple of Amun-Ra-Karnak was one of the largest and most impressive temples in ancient Egypt, and it was dedicated to both Amun and Ra. The temple complex included many different buildings, courtyards, and shrines, and it was the center of religious life in ancient Thebes. The Temple of Ra-Abu Simbel was built during the reign of Pharaoh Ramesses and features four massive statues of the pharaoh seated with the sun god Ra, as well as intricate carvings and hieroglyphs that tell the story of Ramesses' victories and his close relationship with the gods. Ra's worship and influence in Egyptian religion evolved over time, and he was sometimes merged with other gods, such as Amun or Horus. However, his importance as the sun god remained constant throughout much of ancient Egyptian history. Inca Empire. Inti was the Inca sun god and one of the most important deities in the Inca religion. He was believed to be the source of all life and the protector of the Inca people, and his worship played a central role in Inca society. In Inca mythology, Inti was said to be the son of the creator god Viracocha, and he was often depicted as a golden disc with a human face. Inti was seen as an incredibly powerful and influential god, and his blessings were thought to bring prosperity, good health, and success to the Inca people. Like Ra in Egyptian mythology, Inti was closely associated with the institution of kingship in Inca society. The Inca emperors were believed to be descended from Inti, and they were seen as his earthly representatives. Because the Inca people lived in a mountainous region with limited arable land, agriculture was of critical importance to their survival. Inti was seen as the god of agriculture, and his blessings were thought to ensure a bountiful harvest. In Inca society, human sacrifice was practiced as a way of appeasing the gods and ensuring their blessings. Although Inti was generally seen as a benevolent god, human sacrifices were sometimes offered to him during times of crisis or hardship. The Incas were known for their impressive architecture and engineering skills, and they built many temples and monuments to honor their gods, including Inti. The most famous of these structures is perhaps Machu Picchu, which was built in the 15th century and is believed to have served as a royal estate for the Inca Emperor Pachacuti. In addition to Machu Picchu, there were many other temples and sacred sites throughout the Inca Empire that were dedicated to Inti. These included the Temple of the Sun in Cusco, Coricancha, which is known for its elaborate architecture and lavish decorations. The walls of the temple were covered in gold sheets, and the floors were covered in silver. The ceilings were decorated with intricate designs and were said to have been adorned with emeralds and other precious stones. In addition to its stunning decorations, Coricancha was also home to many important artifacts and treasures, including gold and silver statues of the Inca gods and other important religious objects. The temple was a center of Inca religious and political power, and it was a hub of activity throughout the year. Ancient Greece. Helios was the ancient Greek god of the sun, and he was one of the 12 Olympian gods. He was often depicted as a handsome young man with a golden crown or halo of sun rays, riding a chariot drawn by 4 fiery horses across the sky. According to Greek mythology, Helios drove his chariot across the sky from east to west each day, bringing light and warmth to the world. Helios was associated with many important concepts in ancient Greek culture, including justice, law, and oaths. His all-seeing eye was said to be able to witness everything happened on earth, and he was sometimes called upon to witness important agreements and contracts. One of the most famous temples dedicated to Helios was the Colossus of Rhodes, which was a massive statue of the god that stood over 100 feet tall and was one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. The Colossus was destroyed in an earthquake in 226 BC, but its image has endured as a symbol of the power and majesty of the sun god Helios. Priests in Helios temples would perform daily rituals and ceremonies to honor the god and ensure that he continued to bless the earth with his warmth and light. These rituals might include the lighting of candles or incense, the pouring of libations, or the recitation of prayers and hymns. One of the most important festivals in honor of Helios was the Heliogena, which was celebrated on the winter solstice. During this festival, devotees would light bonfires and candles to symbolize the rebirth of the sun and the return of longer days. They would also offer gifts to Helios, such as wreaths or statues, and participate in processions and other public rituals. Hinduism. Surya is the ancient Hindu god of the sun, and he is considered one of the most important deities in the Hindu pantheon. He is depicted as a radiant young man riding a chariot pulled by 7 horses or sometimes a single hearse with 7 heads. In Hindu mythology, Surya is believed to be the source of all life and energy on earth. He is also associated with knowledge, enlightenment, and spiritual awakening. Surya is often depicted holding a lotus flower or a chakra, which represents the cycle of birth and rebirth. Worship of Surya has been an important part of Hindu culture for thousands of years. Hindus offer prayers and perform rituals to honor the sun god, often at sunrise and sunset. Some of the most important festivals dedicated to Surya include Makar Sankranti and Chhath Puja, which are celebrated in different parts of India. During Makar Sankranti, Hindus offer prayers to Surya and take a ritual bath in the Ganges River. The festival marks the end of the winter solstice and the beginning of longer days, and it is considered an auspicious time for new beginnings and spiritual growth. Both the Konark Sun Temple in New Ishi and the Arasavali Sun Temple in Andhra Pradesh are important Hindu temples dedicated to Surya, the god of the sun. The Konark Sun Temple, located in the town of Konark in Odisha, is one of the most famous sun temples in India. It was built in the 13th century by King Narasimha Devi of the Eastern Gauda dynasty and is considered a masterpiece of ancient Indian architecture. The temple is designed in the shape of a giant chariot, with 12 pairs of carved stone wheels representing the months of the year. The temple's walls are covered with intricate carvings of gods, goddesses, and mythical creatures, and the main sanctum of the temple is dedicated to Surya. Aztecs. Huitzilopochtli was the Aztec god of the sun, war, and human sacrifice. He was one of the most important deities in the Aztec pantheon and was believed to have led the Aztecs on their journey from their ancestral homeland to the Valley of Mexico, where they founded their capital city of Tenochtitlan. According to Aztec mythology, Huitzilopochtli was born fully grown and fully armed from his mother's womb. After she was impregnated by a ball of feathers, he was depicted as a fearsome warrior wearing a headdress of hummingbird feathers and carrying a shield and a spear. The Aztecs believed that Huitzilopochtli needed to be appeased through human sacrifice in order to keep the sun moving across the sky and ensure the continued existence of the world. The Aztecs would offer prisoners of war and other captives as sacrifices to Huitzilopochtli, often by cutting out their hearts and offering them to the god. Huitzilopochtli was also associated with the Aztec calendar, which was based on the movements of the sun. The Aztecs believed that each day was ruled by a different deity, and Huitzilopochtli was the patron of the 13-day period known as the Xiopahuli. The worship of Huitzilopochtli was centered around the great temple of Tenochtitlan, which was dedicated to him and other Aztec deities. The temple was one of the largest and most important religious structures in the world at the time, and was adorned with carvings, murals, and sculptures depicting Huitzilopochtli and other Aztec gods. The symbol of the sun is often associated with power, warmth, light, and vitality. It is a common motif in many cultures around the world and has played an important role in religion, mythology, and art for thousands of years. One of the most interesting aspects of the cult of the sun is its enduring popularity throughout history. Despite the rise and fall of different civilizations and religions, the worship of the sun has persisted in many parts of the world, often blending with other religious or cultural practices to create unique syncretic traditions. Even today, many people around the world continue to find spiritual significance in the sun, whether through meditation, yoga, or other practices. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and make sure to subscribe for more amazing content.